to that, definitely. I think evergreen has the benefits of being or enabling websites to get a steady stream of traffic outside of the news cycle. The news cycle can be very unforgiving. You can have fantastic days and fantastic weeks off the back of specific topics that you rank really well for. And then you can have weeks or months where you get very little traffic, comparatively speaking, because just the news is just not working in your favor and not aligning with what you as a website have topical expertise in. And that's where evergreen content can come in. For example, I'll talk about the IPL. I love watching the IPL, and I really hope it comes back with full crowds again. That's one of the reasons why I love watching IPL cricket, because with full stadiums, the experience you get in an IPL game, it's unmatched. It's fantastic to watch on TV, and I hope to be able to attend games in person one day myself, because it seems like such a fantastic spectacle. But it's a short season. It's a fairly short season. And then you go into the off season, and then it starts ramping up again in preparation for the new season when the player auctions kick off again, all of that. But there's a fairly quiet period in there. If you are dependent primarily on news stories regarding IPL as a publisher, that's a hard period to go through. And if you have an evergreen strategy to back that up, where you have like a baseline of traffic based not so much on what's happening currently in the IPL, but maybe on general cricket topics, with historic stuff about cricket explainers for people who are new to it, histories of teams, histories of players, most famous players in cricket of all time, those sorts of things, or just list of statistics around cricket and around the IPL, you will find that there's a consistent level of demand for those sorts of stories outside of the news cycle. And that's when you talk about classic SEO. When we talk about evergreen in the context of news, we're talking classic SEO, ranking in what we call the 10 blue links on Google regular search results, where you want to rank for things like who are the top 100 greatest cricket players of all time, the top 50 best batters, the top 50 best all-rounders, etc., etc. Or stories about the most famous cricket grounds. Or there's an interesting sort of anecdotal story here in Ireland, where I'm based, that the West Indies team came to visit them in the 1960s for a series of games against the Ireland national team, which at the time was just not particularly good at cricket. But the West Indies got bowled out of the park in 29 runs or something, and the rumor is that's because they were still hungover from a night before drinking Guinness. That's a great story, not newsworthy at all, because it happened 40, 50 years ago, if not longer, but it's a great evergreen story, so maybe you want to write about that. So